Hello guys, Crispy here and welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm gonna be testing the RX 570 in Crysis Remastered. I am running it with a Ryzen 7 3700X and 16 gigs of RAM. This one is the 8GB model of the card, you can see right there. And you'll also get the same FPS with something like a Ryzen 3 3100, maybe a 1200 overclocked or something like that. So going over to the settings, I'm gonna be playing this one at 1920 by 1080, so 1080p resolution. Anti-aliasing is gonna be set to SMAA 1X, which doesn't really kill your FPS, by the way. It's just the default anti-aliasing method of this game. And we're gonna be testing it, of course, with the low settings as well as medium high and can it run Crysis settings. And by the way, the low settings over here are actually the optimal settings that the game auto-detected for the RX 570, so I find that a little bit weird. Alright guys, so 1080p with the low settings, here we go. Let's start counting our FPS. I already did a little run around here with like 40 FPS for some reason. I was getting 40 FPS on the low settings, by the way, and I filmed the entire low settings part of the video, and then I switched to medium settings and I was getting more FPS than low settings. And I did restart the game like multiple times on low because I was getting like 40 FPS on average, and I found it very weird for the 570 to be getting 40 FPS on low settings. And it was indeed very weird because now it's working properly. Yeah, I have no idea what this game is on because this is completely broken, basically, my friends. It's just horrible optimization. Right now it's running pretty well, as you can see, and it's not stuttering like other videos because I've already played this one through, but it's still like, what the hell? Why was I getting 40 FPS for no reason? And I did restart the game as well and still got like 40 FPS. It wasn't until I switched to medium settings and low settings again that it was fixed, you know, and we are now getting really good FPS, and this is an extremely playable and extremely smooth experience. Oh, not to mention that I did spend like 30 minutes before this video to make the audio work because I had no audio in this game for some reason. I had no idea why. Restarted the PC, restarted the game, and then it just worked like in one of the restarts, you know. I did it multiple times, but like after 5 or 6 restarts it was fine. The game still manages to look good, you know, because if you just ignore those weird looking textures or low resolution textures like that, it actually, yeah, it's pretty good looking, not too bad. I believe the textures on the first Crysis were basically the same as this. Alright, there we go. We just restarted the checkpoint. Let's go through the settings right now. Let's see, yeah, 1080p with the medium settings preset here, and now it's actually getting around 60 FPS, so I believe this is a better experience than low settings, my friends. I will definitely choose to play on medium instead of low because the game looks way better, and it's still kind of a smooth experience. It's a little bit janky sometimes. It doesn't really feel like 60 FPS at times, but it is saying that it's at 60 FPS and it's not really stuttering that much, so I'll believe that. Maybe it's because I am used to 165 Hz at this point. At 60 FPS on average, not bad at all. I am wondering why this game chose the low settings preset as the optimal settings for the RX 570, because it doesn't really make too much sense. It looks really good on medium. It runs okay, as you can see, around 60 FPS on average. Even inside of the jungle, you know, it doesn't really drop that much from 60, so it's an extremely pleasant experience here on medium. I would probably play this game through with these settings, no problems, you know, and this is probably what I would recommend, unless you really want a little bit higher visual fidelity coming from Crysis. Yeah, this is perfectly doable. There we go. Let's see. I wish I could lean in this Crysis, you know. For some reason they removed that from the remastered version. You could lean in the first one. Alright, there we go. Okay. Alright. Am I killing everybody then? No, I'm not killing anybody. What the hell? Like, I headshotted the guy a lot of times and he doesn't die. Oh man, these 2007 games. Okay, so let's stop it right there. We got 65 FPS average, 1% lows in the 50s. It's a nice experience here. Right, there we go. We are right now at 1080p resolution using the high settings. I'm just gonna disable motion blur, and it's not looking pretty, as you can probably tell by the FPS here. It's kind of very close to 30 FPS, and we're only getting these FPS like 20 something. What the hell? Sometimes this game doesn't load some things. Like, what the heck is this? But anyways, we're only getting these FPS right now because 4 FPS, 1% lows by the way, because Raytracing is enabled at the high settings preset. So if you disable that, it will become a much smoother experience. We might try that out later in this video. What the hell? Like, the game forgot. I think the game forgot to render these bushes, these types of bushes at least. But yeah, that's okay. We're gonna go. Let's go. Okay. Did I kill the guy? I think I did kill the guy. Yeah, the grass over here, everything looks pretty detailed. These bushes right here. Yeah, the textures you can see, it looks pretty good right now on high settings. If you really want to play this game on high, well, just disable Raytracing, because I don't really feel the need to have it enabled, to be honest, guys. I think the game still looks good without Raytracing enabled, and we're definitely gonna check that out in just a little bit. Let me just kill everybody over here. Let me take a look at these leaves here. Okay, yeah, still not very good. At Can It Run Crysis settings, these look really, really detailed. How many shots to the head does it take for one of them to die? One? Are you serious? I've been missing all this time. Well, alright then. Yeah, one shot to the head does it. Okay, well, that is very interesting. I had no idea, actually. I thought it was like 3, 4, but no. Alright, there we go. Everyone's dying right now. Good stuff, good stuff. Over here, it's actually kind of playable. We're getting way above 30 FPS. But as soon as you get inside of a jungle area, it will drop from 30 by quite a bit into like the mid-20s. I'm gonna go ahead and disable the Raytracing right here. Turn that off. And yes, I want to apply that. Restart. There we go. So high settings without Raytracing. And as you can see, it's still a little bit too rough, but way better right now. We were getting like, what, 30 FPS right here. This is definitely playable right now. So, yep, I could definitely play like this. No problems. I'm gonna grab the car right now. Guys, here we go. Into the woods. Oh my god, I can't see anything. Alright, never mind then. I'm just gonna kill these guys right now. There we go. Okay, so the bush is still like this. Yeah, over here we're not dropping from 30 anymore. So yeah, if you want the 30 plus FPS experience and still very high visual fidelity coming from your Crysis Remastered game, I guess, yeah, this is still the way to go. And those god rays are still present and they still look beautiful, and the lighting and everything pretty much looks beautiful here without the ray tracing. So I will definitely play like this. Okay, yeah, either choose medium settings for a 60 FPS experience, or high settings if you want a little bit better visual fidelity and be above 30 FPS at all times. Let's just do a Can It Run Crysis preset, because, well, it's the real test here, you know? Let's see what the 570 can do. There we go. Motion blur is disabled, everything else still the same on the Can It Run Crysis preset. Raytracing enabled and everything. For the meme, let's do this. Can it run Crysis? Well, it can at lower settings. Obviously, it was an extremely pleasant experience, even on high without ray tracing. But at the maximum settings, it's very, very hard, okay? You could play like this. Who am I kidding, guys? No one should play like this. Maybe you could, maybe. Not saying you can't, but why would you choose to play like this if you have the option to play at 30 or 60 FPS, you know? Yeah, it just doesn't really make sense for you to play like this, unless you wanted to take some screenshots and stuff. I guess it will be fine for that. You can still run around, of course. And let's just check those textures here on the palm trees. Definitely way better than even high settings. So Yeah, this is great. Maybe just set the textures to the maximum setting here and play at medium. I guess that is a very pleasant experience, guys. And the textures don't really affect your FPS too much, so you could definitely do this if you have the 8GB model of the RX 570. If you have the 4GB model, well, it becomes kind of rough for you to increase the settings. It might still be playable, of course, but you might find some more stuttering issues because you're running out of VRAM, of course. Right, there we go. Yep, still playable, kind of. Not really the best thing, and I don't recommend it, but I am still playing the game, am I not? Right, okay. Oh my god, okay. Oh boy, okay. No, I'm not dead yet. I'm not dead yet. I've done it, guys. I've done it. Can it run Crysis? Yes, it can. Alright, so should I do like 720p just for fun? Now, of course, I don't recommend 720p resolution to anybody that has a 570. I think it looks way better at 1080p with like medium settings than maxed out settings at 720p, but you know what? Yeah, this is not too bad. I was expecting worse coming from 720p resolution. Yeah, it seems like the 570 is doing a good job. So guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, love you all. Bye-bye.